Did you know there's a powerful angel who fights for God's people and a dark spiritual force that tries to block God's plans? Today, we're diving into the epic battle between Archangel Michael and the Prince of Persia, a battle that reveals what's really happening behind the scenes in the spiritual realm. From the book of Daniel to Revelation, this story will open your eyes to the unseen fight and what it means for your life today. Stick around, because this will change how you see spiritual battles forever. You might have heard about these two from the book of Daniel, but we're going to dive deeper and explore how they appear in Daniel and even in Revelation. First, let's talk about Michael. Archangel Michael is one of the most powerful angels mentioned in the Bible. He's known as a protector, especially when it comes to God's people. Michael's name actually means "who is like God," a reminder that he's a mighty being, but he's still subject to God's authority. In Daniel 10 verse 13, we see Michael referred to as a chief prince. He's not just any angel, he's a warrior angel who fights on behalf of God's people. In Daniel 12 verse 1, it says, "At that time Michael, the great prince who protects your people, will arise." This shows that Michael's role is to protect and defend God's people. So we know that Michael's main job is to guard God's people, especially when things are tough. Now let's look at the Prince of Persia. This might sound strange at first, but it's actually a spiritual being. In the Bible, we see that there are spiritual forces behind earthly kingdoms. In Daniel 10 verse 13, it says, "But the prince of the Persian kingdom resisted me 21 days. This is the angel speaking, talking about how he was delayed in delivering a message to Daniel, because this prince was blocking him. The Prince of Persia is not a human ruler. It's a spiritual force that was influencing Persia. It's a demonic force that worked to stop God's will. So Michael's role here was to come to the angel's aid and defeat this spiritual enemy. What's interesting is that this spiritual battle isn't just a one-time thing. It shows us that behind the scenes of what's happening on earth, there's a bigger spiritual battle going on. This battle between Michael and the Prince of Persia shows us something about spiritual warfare. It reminds us that there's more going on than just what we see with our eyes. In the spiritual realm, there are forces at work trying to either help or hurt God's plan for humanity. In Ephesians 6 verse 12, Paul writes, "For our struggle is not against flesh and blood, but against the rulers, against the authorities, against the powers of this dark world, and against the spiritual forces of evil in the heavenly realms." This verse tells us that our real battle is not with people, but with spiritual forces, just like what we see in Daniel. Now let's jump ahead to the book of Revelation. In Revelation chapter 12, verse 7 to 9, we see Michael again, but this time he's in a huge spiritual battle